What's going on? Cesar Rodriguez here, and I just wanted to give you guys this quick little success tip, kind of random. I'm over here at the gym right now, Gold's Gym in Wilmington, North Carolina. As you can see behind me, there's barely anyone in here. You know why that is? Because it's July 4th, and most people are out partying, having a good time, which I think is totally awesome. I'm all about balance. However, the reason I chose to be in here today is because I knew most people wouldn't. And that's one of the biggest keys to being successful, to being a leader. Leaders go where other people won't go. Leaders do what other people won't do. You always need to look at what the masses are doing and find a way to get that slight edge over them. Find a way to do what other people aren't willing to do, and success is gonna find you. You don't have to chase success. Success isn't something that you have to look for. It's not something that you have to chase after or run after. Listen, if you seek to make yourself more valuable, success will chase you. It will find you. It will attack you. It will pour itself all over you. But what you need to do is you need to find the things that other people won't do and then constantly find a way to do those things. So today, I knew I could have skipped. I got parties going on. My phone's blowing up. People saying, when you coming over, Cesar? And you know what my answer is? After I get done with the gym. Most people are skipping the gym today. Why? Because even though fitness is important to them, even though working out is important to them, they are making the conscious decision to say, hey, here's a great excuse to skip. So what you need to do is you need to find the excuses that other people will make, and you need to make sure that you don't make them, because that's what makes you a leader. All right, so if you want to be a leader, you need to constantly look for those opportunities to separate yourself from the masses. So today, one of the opportunities I had to separate myself from the masses was to figure out that most people will not be here today. So to me, that was all the more reason I had to be here, because I have committed to making fitness an important part of my life. I'm committing to be a champion, so I know I got to do what other people won't do. So it's kind of fun. Life is fun when you look for the little games. To me, it's a game to always think, what is everyone else not going to do? Okay, that's the thing I got to do. And I'm going to do it better, and I'm going to work harder, and I'm going to work 10 times as hard as everyone else will. I'm going to constantly look for that edge. All right, Jeff Olson calls it the slight edge, doing those little things that seem to make no difference in the act of doing them. But over time, they pile up. And before you know it, you're miles away in front of everyone. You're miles ahead of everyone. And everyone goes, how did you get there? And you know what? Success has caught you. Because when you seek to be more valuable, success will find you. It will pour itself on you. It will tackle you. But you have to become more valuable and then find a way to give that value to the world. And one of the best ways to do that is to constantly be the person that doesn't make the excuses that everyone else does. That's what makes you a leader. That's what makes you a winner. That's what's going to make you a champion in life, in business. So when everyone else says it's too rainy outside to do my exposures, I've got this going on so I can't make the phone calls, find a way to be the person that says, hey, because I made those phone calls, you know, because it's rainy, I went outside to prospect. Because I had kids crying in the background, I went into the closet to make my phone calls. You got to find out what those things are. You know, it's funny. I'll just share this one little story. I remember when one time I had surgery. You know, so I was in the hospital. You know, and I couldn't even, you know, I couldn't drive. I had actually my senior partner, my mentor, actually dropped me off at the hospital to just get, you know, it was a little minor surgery, but you know, they had to go under the knife. They put me under, gave me the whatever anesthesia, so I couldn't even drive home. And I remember that day, you know, I was determined to get my 2 exposures a day. So I was determined to prospect 2 people. So I was literally under drugs, and I was trying to prospect the nurse, right? You know, and I was like asking her if she kept her options open, and I was like giving her, like, it was a tape cassette back in the day, and I was like, will you watch this tape cassette? And I was like delirious, and you know, my mentor's sitting there laughing, you know. And then I came home, and I put out another exposure, and then I had a guy drive to my house so I could do a sit-down presentation with him, and I ended up signing him up and recruiting him, and I was still half on drugs. Like, I was still like getting over my, you know, anesthesia, you know, post-anesthesia stuff. And it was really funny because that guy ended up doing a ton of business. He was one of my top leaders. He worked for UPS. His name was Doug, actually, and we ended up becoming really great friends. But it's funny because I prospected him when I was, most people said, Cesar, you could have a day off. You just had surgery, man. You're not even fully conscious. You know, like you're slurring your words and you're doing all this type of stuff. But I said, hey, look, I could play a video, you know, and I could still do my thing. And it was that slight edge decision that I made to do that. But you know what happened? It made me so strong that as a leader, no one could ever give me any type of excuse. Because people say, oh, Cesar, you know, I got to go to the doctors or I'm sick. And I'd be like, dude, what? I was freaking barely conscious. And I was getting my exposures out and prospecting people. So that's what makes you a leader. When you find out those things that you can do, when you create those stories, that make you, if you want to overcome excuses, you want to overcome objections, never be the person to give one. Never be the person to give one. Be the person that figures out what other excuses, whatever excuse you don't want to hear, here's how simple it is. Make sure you never give it. Boom. That's it. So that's my success tip for the day. Coming from the gym, I got to get back and hit these weights over here. So I've taken enough of a breather here filming this video, but I'm almost done. But I can tell you, I had every excuse not to be here. I'm partially injured. I strained my back. I scraped my leg over here, laying out for a disc in my ultimate Frisbee game yesterday. But guess what? I said, hey, I could use that as an excuse, or I could use that as a part of my story to show myself how committed I am to my goals. So how committed are you? What excuse are you willing to not make? That's it. I'm Cesar Rodriguez. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the success tip. Now, back to the weights.